Please join me in welcoming Dr. Alicia Thompson, our guest today.
Well, good mid-morning to everyone. Good morning. I'll say it again. Remember, I'm a teacher, so I have to have feedback here. Good morning to everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever one you want to say. All right. Well, as she introduced me, I am Alicia Thompson, and I am the proud superintendent of the Wichita Public Schools. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to visit with you today, to share with you the journey that we're on in the Wichita Public Schools. Each day we strive to empower our students and our staff to dream, to believe, and to achieve the success they envision for their lives. And we are focused on preparing all of our students to achieve college and career and life readiness skills. And for nearly 150 years, public education graduates in the Wichita Public Schools have been leaders and workers and have transformed Wichita into the community you see today. And we know that our students in our classroom today will shape the future of the great community that we have and us moving forward. During my short time with you today, I will want to try to inspire you with stories of success, and I want to encourage you to open your minds up to rethink public education in Wichita. And I hope you will walk away today celebrating the choices and the opportunities that we provide our Wichita families to make our students successful. As we begin, I would like to introduce to you 5 graduates who will inspire you to think about the important role that we play in shaping the future of this place that I call home. I want to introduce to you Daniel. Daniel is a 2017 graduate of North High. Daniel participated in the biomed program at North, and all the grads in our high schools present senior portfolios before they graduate. And with the goal of being a neurosurgeon, Daniel's senior portfolio presentation on diabetes research caught the attention of Johns Hopkins University, where he received a full ride scholarship. Meet Kia. Kia is a 2013 graduate of Northeast Magnet High School. Kia was selected as a WSU Barton Scholar in 2013. She graduated from WSU with honors and is now in her second year of law school at Harvard. And along the way, she did some intern work and a semester at the White House. Meet Darren. Darren is a 2019 graduate of the Adult Learning Center at Chester Lewis Academy at the age of 58. D-Force, as his friends call him now, is a student at Friends University and a manager of their football team. He continues to be a fixture behind the Shocker men's basketball bench, where he has cheered the Shockers on for more than 30 years. Meet Abigail. Abigail is a 2018 graduate of South High. After participating actively at South High in cross country, an avid student, and a teen hero, she is a student leader, and Abigail will graduate from Hutchinson Community College this year and has decided to become a teacher. Meet Kevin, a 2018 Southeast grad, and was selected as one of 3 recipients of the state's largest scholarship, WSU Gore Scholarship. Kevin was super engaged at his school, served as a member of my Student Advisory Council, and will be a wonderful businessman as he majors in entrepreneurial and will graduate soon from WSU. These are but a few of the amazing WPS graduates who have and will continue to transform our communities. And these are the faces of Wichita Public Schools that I want you to think about the next time someone talks to you about the Wichita Public Schools. Now I'm going to move and talk a little bit about the priorities of our Every Student Future Ready strategic plan, and some of the things that you might want to know about the priorities that we're working on. We are committed to increasing our graduation rates for our Wichita Public School students. Our graduation rate as of 2018 is 74%. It is up more than 17% since 2010, but as I will be honest and open as I always am, that is not good enough. We still have work to do. We're pretty excited, though, after our first year of work that we will be getting our graduation rate in January for this past school year. And what we do know is this past May, we saw the highest number of WPS students since 1978. So once that data comes in January, we'll know what that number is. But again, we have work to do. We know that 21% of our graduates in 2018 were the first in their family to graduate high school, a percentage that has been pretty consistent over the last 8 years. And just think about the community and think about those graduates and how education will transform their lives. Last May, our 2019 graduates reported more than $43 million in scholarships received. And I'm also proud to tell you that our graduates, they head to about 113 different colleges and universities in about 27 states, including UCLA, Michigan, Princeton, Miami, Baylor, Langston, and of course, all of our state schools. And our students are also entering into the military, into the workforce, and they're raising their families. And our business in the Wichita Public Schools is to empower our students to achieve success, whatever their path may be. And we do this by offering unparalleled options in our schools. We have 90 schools, and of those 90 schools, 25 of those are magnet schools. We have neighborhood schools, and we have schools that are targeting unique needs and abilities of our kids. We have all-day learning centers at every one of our high schools where students can recover credits and ensure that they stay on track to graduate. We have our Chester Lewis Academy, which is our alternative high school, and we also have school at Town East Mall. We have other amazing programs such as our AVID programs, our International Baccalaureate program, and career academies at our high schools, award-winning fine arts, and about 70% of our kids that we have in our district in high school take some type of a career in tech opportunities. We have about 2,200 of our students that are in our JROTC programs and our middle school leadership programs, and we have about 7,000 students who participate in athletics. And if you're not busy tonight, you should come out to Northwest because we have a team competing for the big title. We are also committed in our school district, as one of our other goals, is to improve our reading proficiency of our students by 3rd grade. 3rd grade is important, and it's a critical year because our kids are transitioning from learning how to read, which is reading accuracy, fluency, and comprehension, and those types of things, to become folks that learn how to do reading to learn and to learn about all the kinds of things that we need those students to learn. And research shows that if a student is not proficient by 3rd grade, they are 4 times less likely to graduate than their proficient peers. So we know that early childhood intervention and enrichment is essential to make sure that our students are prepared to learn the moment that they walk through our doors. And this year we are piloting, which is kind of cool, 2 all-day pre-K programs, and we want to see how all-day impacts students' learning. So we're piloting that. And we are implementing our standards reference grading at all of our elementary schools and rolling out in the middle school and the high schools as we move along. This transition will create a laser-like focus on what students know and can do, and will separate the grading from their behavior. And if you are interested in learning more about this work, you can visit our website at www.usd259.org/grading. We are very pleased to see that our early strategic plan work is making impact. Our 2019 state assessment for 3rd grade English language arts shows a 5% point decrease in students who are performing at level 1, which is our lowest level of performing. We have nearly 2% point increase in levels 2 and 3, and an increase of 1.25% point in level 4. So we're seeing some initial beginning of movement in a positive direction with our English language arts, which is this particular goal for third grade reading proficiency. Now, again, as I always state, it's not good enough, and we have work to do, but we're proud of the growth that we're beginning to see in this key performance area. 2 years ago, when we were listening to create our strategic plan, we heard our community tell us that future preparation for our students was more than just going to college. You said you needed us to prepare students for both college and career. And I can tell you that we are doing just that as we work on this goal number 3. Future ready, when we talk about it, means that we're preparing all of our students for success with strong foundational skills and extraordinary opportunities for the exploration of careers so kids can decide what they want to be and what they want to do. And it means that not all of our students may choose to go to a 4-year college. We place importance on offering options to earn certifications, credentials, and college credit while students are still in high school. We know that 70% of our students participate in at least one career pathway class each year, and that's exposing our kids to opportunities to explore what they like to do. Because you know, when we work a long time, and we want kids to be able to find something that they enjoy doing so that they can have a fruitful life. And because STEM is the wave of the future in our city, in our state, and our country, we have formed 4 Girls Who Code clubs at Cloud Elementary, Brooks, Wilbur Middle Schools, and Northwest High. And through our partnership with Textron, Girls Who Code has expanded to Girls Who Build. Wilbur and Allison have our first Apple coding programs, and all middle and K-8 schools now have VEX robotics. And Northwest has our new IT strand through our CTE programming. And we have elementary schools, and if you follow us on Facebook or on Twitter, you'll be able to see we have kindergartners also that are also beginning at the early age of 5, working on coding as well. Your public schools has some of the most rigorous and robust program opportunities for students to excel at the highest levels and to earn college credit while in high school. We have 23 options for college credit through AP, dual and concurrent credit courses offered by high school students, as well as the unique opportunities presented through the IB program at East and the pre-IB program at Robinson Middle School. Expansion of rigorous opportunities for all students has been important to this strategy, and we are excited to learn earlier this fall that Wichita has seen some of the strongest growth in the country in terms of students who are taking more than one AP course. We're well underway with our first Early College Academy, and this is a partnership with Friends University, and it will result in high school students earning 60 credit hours upon graduation. They will also get a high school diploma. And our community also shared with us their desire for their kids to leave our school district with soft skills. And I know a lot of you businessmen in here, when we had conversations, told me that. We are embedding those skills in everything that we do in our district, and they include technology skills, public speaking, group collaboration, problem solving, and individual learning. And the most important one is to learn to be on time. The bottom line to all this work is that we must provide robust opportunities from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum of learning so that all of our kids have an opportunity to be successful. You may wonder why you see a picture of students here on the screen choosing breakfast. Well, I'm making a point that we are ensuring that all of our kids are safe. And we know that it's not just the traditional way, but it's a non-traditional way also that we are ensuring that our kids have safe spaces. Students who are healthy and well-nourished learn to behave better, and they learn better. Our nutrition services team has been recognized nationally for expanding student access to healthy meals at school, including receiving 1 of 5 National School Breakfast Hero Awards last year. And we will also partner with the City of Wichita in their successful bid to earn All-American City designation because of our success in nourishing our community's children. With respect to health care and mental health for our students, we have a pilot program that we've been working on over the last 2 years, and that program has been so successful that we've expanded it. We had 22 last year, and this year we have 24 schools that we're working with, and we continue to partner with the Kansas ComCare and the Kansas Health Mental Association and our legislators to provide services to our students. In the first year of this program, we served about 737 students. Of those students that we served, 67% of those students that we served improved attendance. 70% of whom we served saw improved behavior. And 53% of whom we served saw improved academic performance. So we know that this mental health program is beginning to make a difference. And as the superintendent of the school district, I can tell you that there's nothing more important to me than the safety of our kids. And we are proud also of the significant physical enhancements across the district that we've made to provide a safe and orderly learning environment for our students. And we've done that through our visitor management system, which allows our guests, so when you come into our buildings, you would ask you to take out your driver's license and you would check in at the office, and we scan those to make sure that we are allowing the appropriate folks inside with our students. We have our tornado shelter safe rooms and our control entrances that were made possible because of the bond improvements that we've had over the last few years. Our controlled entrances, our cameras, and our monitoring capabilities. And to be proactive, we're working with our local law enforcement. Those are all things that we are doing. And over the last few years, we've been writing grants as well. And we've received $2 million from the state over the last 2 years to enhance our security, which has allowed us to begin installing interior doors on our classrooms to give teachers that additional essential added security. Our Every Student Future Ready strategic plan, it was developed with input from thousands of stakeholders. As Ms. Logan stated before, they gave me a charge, and on April the 9th, 2018, they approved a 5-year plan that focuses on student success. The successful work of the strategic plan in year 1 can be attributed to 3 things occurring throughout all parts of the organization. That's focus, alignment, support, and accountability. And we've captured our first year success highlights in a video that I'd like to share with you in a few minutes. But I just want to tell you that I'm very, very proud of the women and men that work in the Wichita Public Schools. Though we are not where we want to be, and the word is yet, we will remain relentless in pursuit of the goals of the Board of Education that they've identified for us to follow. And I invite you to join me in celebrating the highlights of year 1 of our Future Ready strategic plan in a video.
This is me, a student in the Wichita Public Schools. Or at least this was me as we kicked off our strategic plan last year. This is me today as we celebrate the first year of the plan's implementation. I've grown fast in the last year, and so has our strategic plan. It's been exciting to watch as every person in the Wichita Public Schools has embraced our plan to make sure that every student is future ready. Throughout the last year, we've seen every part of our plan come together to support our 4 long-term goals. To increase the high school graduation rate, to increase 3rd grade reading proficiency, to increase the percentage of students completing dual credit, concurrent credit, industry certification, or other college and career readiness opportunities, and to ensure that schools are trusted as safe places by students, parents, staff, and community. This year, we increased opportunities for credit recovery for our high school students through expanded learning centers at each high school and new opportunities at Chester I. Lewis and Town East. We piloted a partnership with ComCare to have licensed therapists at 22 schools so students could have access to counseling during school hours. We selected new English language arts curriculum to better serve our middle and high school students. We implemented restorative practices in middle and high schools to help students resolve disputes and keep them from losing valuable classroom time. And we created opportunities to mentor students and provide support and inspiration as they work towards graduation. We expanded the Parents as Teachers program in order to provide support for more parents and children during the critical first 3 years of life. We added additional PreK classrooms and implemented a new comprehensive PreK curriculum in order to give our students the best start to their educations. And we rolled out Journeys, our new K-5 language arts curriculum. We expanded STEM programs across the district, such as Girls Who Code, to give students the opportunity to have fun while learning about science, technology, engineering, and math. We partnered with WSU Tech and Logo Aviation manufacturers to implement a new aviation pathway at 4 high schools. We introduced Educators Rising, a new pathway for students who want to be teachers. And we created the Early College Academy, which will allow students to earn 60 credit hours of college by the time they graduate high school. 50 freshmen will be welcomed to the program this fall. We aligned systems across the district to better meet the needs of all students. We expanded breakfast opportunities, ensuring that every student is able to start the day off right. We partnered with the city to provide additional transportation options to students and introduced a new system that allows parents to track their students' bus. We helped our teachers grow into leaders through the Opportunity Teacher Leader Academy. And most importantly, we encourage our students, staff, parents, and community to dream, believe, and achieve. Our strategic plan was designed to guide the work of the Wichita Public Schools through 2023. With all the work that's been done in year 1, I can't wait to see what the next 4 years have in store.
I can imagine that many of you sitting here in the audience wonder why all this matters to you. And you may no longer have kids in our school district, and they may attend different schools, or your businesses may not even be in Wichita. As I wrap up my remarks, I want to give you 2 significant reasons why Wichita Public Schools matters to all of us. And I want to extend an invitation to you to be part of the success equation of Wichita kids. 2 of the 4 factors that James Chung identified as essential to our community is human capital and perception, as directly impacted by public education. And as you know, that Project Wichita has identified education and lifelong learning as one of the community's top priorities. The state of Kansas vision for education is to lead the world in the success of each student. And if you think about the fact that in Kansas, it has 491,000 public school students, and Wichita schools, that means nearly 11% of that number. And that we educate approximately all the students in Sedgwick County, we educate about half of them that are in Sedgwick County. And it is abundantly clear that we are part of Wichita, and Wichita is part of the Wichita Public Schools. In fact, as we prepare to mark the 150th anniversary of public education in Wichita next year, we can reflect and be with pride on the more than 200,000 public school graduates who have shaped our community for generations. Our students and community, our schools actually are community centers, they're activity hubs for families, and they provide a tremendous service to this community. And we are proud of the role that we play in our community. And because we're in this all together, I've got a couple of ideas and ways that we and the Pachyderm Club could collaborate together. I'd like to share those with you. So I have them listed here, and one of the ways that I would encourage you and plead with you to do is to volunteer in our schools. We have our volunteer coordinator who is here with us today, And you can just tell her some of the things that you may be interested in, and we can connect you very well to any of our programmings within our district. We also want you to see us and visit us. Sometimes, you're not sure exactly what happens in the public schools. That's okay, because we want to invite you in for principal for the day, which means that you could come in, you can walk around and shadow with the building principal and have the opportunity to experience what we do every day. And again, we have a volunteer coordinator here that will be able to you go to any school you want, and we'll be able to get you set up. Those of you who have businesses, we would like to have an opportunity for you to offer job shadowing opportunities for our kids, or to offer externships for our teachers over the summer and allow them to see you in your workplace so that they understand the talent needs that you have in your businesses from your perspective. You can also donate to support innovative teaching through our Education Edge. And you can also celebrate us and our students and our staff if you follow us on lots of media. We have lots of social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. How many of you are on all those things? Oh, not really? Okay, well, if you are, follow us. And there are some, we do a lot of storytelling on the social media channels. And also, the last thing that I'd like to encourage you to do is to make a personal commitment to support student success. As we've engaged with our community over the last 6 months, I've had 2 initiatives that I would like to ask folks to do. When we go out and do speaking engagements, we ask people to engage with us. One of the things that we've asked folks to do is you have it at your table, and I'll hold it up so that you can see what this is. This is a personal commitment sheet. Personal commitment sheet. Part of our essential culture building work this year has been the challenge all of our stakeholders to make a personal commitment. You all know from your businesses and your organizations that if your employees and your stakeholders believe in what you're doing and they feel empowered to make a difference within your organization, the opportunity for success gets high. And our work is not just the work of the Wichita Public Schools, it really is our community's work. And the students we educate impact us all. They impact us in the classroom, at home, in our neighborhoods, and they are our consumers. And I encourage you to reflect on what you personally will be able to connect with us and commit to do to impact student success. We encourage you to write it down and consider posting this in a prevalent place in your home. We started out, the board members have these commitment forms that they filled out personally, and I know some of them, I hear them say they have it on their refrigerators and they look at them every day as they are committed to students. All of our teachers, support staff, families that we've been engaged with, they all have made commitments personally of what they're going to do to impact student success. The other thing that I'm going to ask that you do is a second invitation, is to give us some feedback on how you believe we're doing on our Every Student Future Ready strategic plan. There is a QR code where if you use your camera, you can actually go there and pull that up, and the survey will come up. And really what we're asking you to do is to give us your thoughts on several questions. And there are 4 of them that we'll have there that we'll want to see if you would give us feedback. And if you can't get it up with your QR code, you can go to www.usd259.org Future Ready and offer feedback there. What we are going to be doing, we've been out doing listening tours. The Board of Education has been out, and we are again gathering information. We've been out our first year. We just started our strategic plan work, and we're out again asking folks, what do they see that we can improve on? Where do you see things that are going well? And any other feedback that we can get so that we can continue to move forward in a positive way with our strategic plan. So before I take your questions, I want to bring you back to where we started. What I didn't tell you about these students is what their backgrounds represent, including child of a successful doctor, an individual with significant physical disability, a child of an immigrant, from an economically disadvantaged home, a student diagnosed with autism. I didn't tell you this because their labels don't define them, nor do they define the opportunities presented to students in our district. You would never know by looking at these graduates what their challenges, their goals, or their dreams are. When you look at the faces of success, I hope you see them through the perceptions you may have of their labels. And I hope you see them of the perceptions that you may have developed of the Wichita Public Schools. And understand that this district is committed to the success of all students. And I want you to know us for who we really are, and not necessarily what you see through the headlines in the paper or on social media. Think about Daniel, Abigail, Darren, Kia, and Kevin the next time you think of the Wichita Public Schools, and join me in the journey to help every student become future ready, empowered to dream, believe, and to achieve. And I stand ready for questions.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We have about 15 minutes and a lot of hands up, so a couple of things before you begin.
Okay.
Could you please identify your volunteer coordinator?
Yes, that's what she was just telling me. Okay, I'll do my whole team. I have a volunteer coordinator. Her name is Miss Susie Finn. Susie, can you stand up one more time and raise your hand? So if any of you are interested in any of those opportunities, she is the woman with the plan. Also, I would like to and I failed to remember, I know you all had introduced Ms. Logan before, but I would also like to again acknowledge our wonderful board president, Ms. Cheryl Logan. And I also have some teammates here, those of them who could have attended. So if you are a part of the Wichita Public Schools team, would you please stand so that we can acknowledge you as well? Okay, now I think we're ready.
Okay, we have the first question here, and then if you would, again, show your hands. I missed question number 2. Okay, we got 2.
I'll minimize the speech part here. I'm Judge Kevin Smith. I'm assigned to juvenile court. I deal with child need care cases as well as juvenile offender cases. In Central County, we have approximately 1,200 kids that are in foster care, out-of-home placements. What I find interesting is that nationwide, 50% of the kids who age out of the system graduate high school. In the Kansas City region, 51% graduate high school. In the Wichita region, just 30.3% of the kids graduate high school. What I would like to know from you is, what are you doing to include these most vulnerable victims of unfortunate circumstances in your goals and your plans?
That's a great question. And we definitely have identified, what we've done in our district is we've built an infrastructure for graduation differently than what we have had in the past. And in the past, we actually have gone to Kansas City and some of the other school districts to see what they have put in place as infrastructure to increase graduation rates. And so what we have done, not just for our foster care students, but for all of our students, is we have a plan of instruction. So we look at our students every month, and we're looking at where they are as it relates to their grades. So we don't let our kids get to the 12th grade and then all of a sudden we look to say, oh my goodness, you're not ready to graduate. We actually are starting that at the 9th grade level. So every month, principals and staff are looking at those students to determine what kinds of, if they're passing their classes or not. If they're not passing classes, then we go back to the school and we look at what we can do to be able to support those students a little bit differently. We also have some different types of learning style, things that we can do for students. So some kids may not be able to go to school all day, every day, so we have different alternative ways. So we have all types, we have our learning labs within the building. We have schools at the mall, so if kids still want to be able to work and do whatever they need to do with their families to support them, we have things at our mall where we have schools. We have class after school, after it's over with, at night school. We have all kinds of variety of ways in which we are supporting our students differently than what we have in the past to be able to ensure that we are not leaving any student behind in graduation.
Next question back here.
Thank you for coming. Sounds like you guys have done a marvelous job in lots of areas. And I know there's a tendency to load more on you, but one of the areas that I think students who graduate from high school and college begin to stumble is the area of financial understanding of what's going to happen in the world. Things that are just practical skills, things you and I learned at home or somewhere else. So how are you focusing on these things? I know that's come up before.
Yes, we do have, we have a semester of financial literacy that all of our students must take in order to graduate. And so we have built that in over the last couple of years. We've incorporated that particular course for kids to be able to ensure that we don't just let them go out into the world and not have anything. We also partner with others that give the kids experiences of pretending that they have a checkbook and, giving them those opportunities. But those are one-time shots, but we do ensure that they have some type of financial literacy course before they graduate. Yes.
Next question.
Hi, Alicia.
Hey, how are you all?
Good to see you. I wanted to thank you for bringing these excellent examples of students that excel. What I'm concerned about, and I'm sure you are as well, is that only 18% of the students in Wichita are actually proficient in reading, math, science. Now, the question is, how are we going to get those numbers up? We have overall only 1 in 5 students proficient in Wichita, and yet you're socially promoting from one grade to the next, and also handing out graduation diplomas. How do we make this work so the kids are actually ready for college work careers?
Great question. That's why we have a strategic plan. We have not had a strategic plan in the district for many years. And because we have not had a strategic plan, we didn't have good focus. And we didn't have alignment, nor did we have accountability. And so with our strategic plan, that will allow us to be able to work in these areas. So what you don't see on the strategic plan, and you'll be able to see because we will be being very transparent about our data and what is happening with our strategic plan. But what you have not seen within the plan is we have steps and strategies and indicators underneath each one of these big audacious goals. And we will be monitoring those things as we on a regular basis. We actually meet every other week looking at our data to ensure that things are moving, and we're holding people accountable to implement the things that we've asked them to implement that we know that's research-based that will move the needle with these students. What I will tell you with state assessments, and I'll just be clear about that, state assessments is just one assessment that our students take. What you don't see behind the state assessment is on grade level. When a lot of our students enter our school district, they enter behind. So what we can see behind the data is that our students are making a year's worth of growth. But what we know is even a year's worth of growth will not be shown on the state assessment because they're behind. So what our goal is what we have to begin to do is not get a 1-year growth. We have to accelerate the learning so that we get several years growth so that we can get kids caught up so that they can pass those state assessments at the levels in which we know they need to. So we are not pleased with where we are. We never will be until we have 100% of our kids being proficient. We have made progress, so we are more than 18% of our students that are proficient at this point, but we are making progress, and it's all because we have a plan and we're laser-like focused, we are aligned, and we also are monitoring, and we are being accountable to the plan. Also with this particular plan, we will be posting it online so that everyone will see the plan and everyone can see the strategies that we will be working on, and everyone will be able to see our baseline data. Each year, after every year, we will be posting the improvements or not the improvements or whatever it is will be on the line for everyone to see. And we will always ask for feedback. We will always ask you all to engage with us because, again, this is not just a Wichita Public School problem. This is a problem for our entire community, and we need each and every one of you to engage with us, to support us, so that we can begin to ensure that our numbers will move forward, so that more of our kids will leave college and career ready.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Your fourth goal is safety. Do you have a process or considering a process for qualified teachers to carry weapons as a deterrent?
We, at this point, we do not have anything of that nature in our policies or on our radar screen.
Can I ask a question? What percent of the total number of students in USD 259, what was the percentage, the difference in the percentage of the number of students who were proficient in math in 2015 to the number who were proficient in math in 2019? How much did that decrease, and how many total students is that?
I do not have my data in front of me, so I can't give you specific numbers. However, I can get that information to you, and you also will be able to look at that online when we have it uploaded.
It actually decreased 10%. 5,000 more students are under grade level in the USD 259. And it's decreased every year. And now you have made some progress on third grade reading. You work huge resources in that, but you're completely leaving all the other children behind.
What I will tell,
We're really, and so the question I have is, you say you're holding people accountable. What monetary accountability has any of your principals had been held accountable? Did they get docked because their children didn't improve? They didn't make sure that they get in front of the right teachers? Do you have any financial incentives for any principals to help them improve?
we do not. We do not have any financial incentives for people to improve, nor do we take any pay when they do not improve.
Okay, we have one up here.
Hi, my name is Dave Loomis. I'm considering running for the school board because of a problem that I've realized that I think is more important than anything that's been brought up. In fact, it seems to be the foundation of a lot of what has been brought up. The focus of an education system should be education, and yet it seems we are more focused on sociology than education. In education, the most important thing we can teach our children, anyone, is how to think rather than what to think. And I see a complete absence of any courses that have anything to do with logic, Aristotelian logic, predicate logic, logical, fallacious writing and speech. Yeah, if you look at the political arena, it becomes very apparent that nobody's talking about real issues. They're really not conversing. They're throwing rocks at each other. Okay, and I think we need to start teaching our children how to think. I'm wondering if you've made any progress in figuring out that that's even there, much less what to do about it.
Absolutely. We have a Kansas Can vision that is directed from the State Board of Education, and they develop the standards and the skills and the things that we want Kansas kids to be able to do, and we follow those. So that when I referenced our standards reference grading and the pieces that we have just started with that, moving into our middle school and our high schools in concurrent years, that's exactly what we will be teaching, because that is what our state has given us the charge to be able to do. So we follow our state standards, and that allows us to be able to meet those things that you just discussed.
Okay, we have a question back here. A lot of hands still.
Hi, Dr. Thompson.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing with us, and thank you for your leadership of our district. I have been watching our district pretty closely for the last 4 years, as you know, and have seen significant improvement in your leadership and in the board's vision and asking questions and being more community focused. Thank you. One of the things that I've been talking to my own child about, and I just had a conversation before I got here, is start times and student-focused education. So pediatric regulation or the suggestions say that students shouldn't start before 8:30. High school students shouldn't start before 8:30, but my son goes to a magnet school that starts at 7 every morning. And depression, anxiety, these kind of things get driven by start time, sleep schedules, circadian, well, all that good stuff. how do we focus as a district? We're very large, and we can be this huge machine. How do we stay student-focused in 259?
Well, we stay focused on our kids through our strategic plan. I will drive everything back to that plan because it was generated not just by district level folks, but by our community, by business leaders, by our parents, and by our kids. And I meet monthly with kids just to hear from their perspective. So I think everything that we do in our school district is driven by this plan, and this plan is focused on students. So if we follow our plan and hold true to our mission and our vision and our themes and the beliefs that we have, we will stay student focused because that is what this drives us to do.
Have we got time for one more question?
Sure.
Very good.
Good afternoon. My daughters are in education, and I talked with her this morning, and she said one of the biggest problems is kids coming into kindergarten have no motivation or appetite to want to learn. Could you elaborate on your pre-K program and to what extent is it offered?
Yes.
Wide?
Yes, sir. Our pre-kindergarten programs, that's a great question. Early childhood is my forte. And what we do know is that pre-kindergarten is extremely important. But when you have children that have not had any pre-work done with them academically before they get to us, we know that half of a day is what our pre-kindergarten programs are now. They're not good enough because it's not long enough. They need more time with us to be able to catch up on the things that that did not come with us prepared to be able to do. So as you notice, we talked about that we're piloting a pre-K program. We have pre-K in our district, but we don't have all-day pre-K. So we've piloted 2 classrooms this year to see what impact that all-day experience with pre-kindergarten students, what will that do for a student as they move forward going into kindergarten to be better prepared, not just academically, but socially and emotionally as well. Because what we do find is that those students haven't had the opportunity to be able to play with others, interact with adults, or anything else, and those things are also important for a student to be successful. So we are piloting 2 all-day pre-kindergarten programs to see the impact, and then we'll be able to make some decisions with our board members on what we do with that information and data.
Superintendent Alicia Thompson, thank you very much.